We all feel it, don't we? That relentless drumbeat in business. Grow and grow fast.
Yeah, it's constant.
You're constantly trying to scale, reach more customers, boost revenue. It can feel like you're, I don't know, throwing everything at the wall, just hoping something sticks.
Searching for that quick win, right?
Exactly. But what if there's a more deliberate, maybe even scientific way to approach this? Today, we're doing a deep dive into a concept that promises to transform that struggle. Growth hacking.
The buzzword.
Well, yes, but maybe more critically, we're dissecting the growth hacking mindset.
And what's truly fascinating here is how, pervasive the drive for growth is. It's in every business conversation, from tiny startups to, huge established companies.
Right.
But like you said, this deep dive isn't just about a new list of tactics. We're pulling insights from the ebook Growth Hacking Mindset 2022, also weaving in ideas from HubSpot, Grow Withward.
Good source.
Our mission is to really define what growth hacking is, look at how it's actually done, and fundamentally understand why developing this specific mindset is, maybe the ultimate key to success.
So it's about changing how you tackle challenges, how you see opportunities, not just grabbing new tools.
Precisely. It's a different way of thinking. Okay, let's unpack this.
So let's start with the phrase itself, growth hacking. It's pretty familiar now, right? Especially for entrepreneurs, marketers, anyone obsessed with rapid growth.
Oh, yeah.
But if you strip away the buzz, what does it actually mean? Our sources explain it as an experimentation-driven technique.
Experimentation-driven.
Think of it like a scientist in a lab, constantly running trials, analyzing the results, tweaking things.
Iterating.
Exactly. Iterating to find the most effective ways for your business to grow.
And if we zoom out a bit, connect this to the bigger picture, what really stands out is how interdisciplinary it is. Meaning it's not just marketing. It's a blend of insights from marketing, sure, but also product development, UX design, engineering, and crucially, data and analytics.
Data's key.
Absolutely. At its core, it's about strategically growing leads, getting customers, boosting revenue, anything that tangibly drives business success.
Yeah.
Makes the company thrive.
And here's a thought that might surprise you, the listener. You might actually be doing growth hacking already without even realizing it.
Interesting. How so?
Well, if you're constantly testing different variables, maybe tracking the outcomes carefully, and then learning from those results.
Then you're basically doing it.
Yeah, congratulations. You're kind of embracing the spirit of a growth hacker. Think about it. Have you ever, say, A/B tested an email subject line?
To see which gets more opens. Yeah, classic example.
Or maybe you've tweaked the call to action button on your site. Different colors, different words, trying to boost conversions.
If you've done that, you've dipped your toes in.
Exactly. That idea of continuous data-driven experimentation, it really resonates. But for a lot of businesses, it might sound a bit unstructured, chaotic, maybe.
Yeah. How do you actually put it into practice? Is there a method? Or is it just, trying stuff?
Right. I know HubSpot has a pretty clear framework for this.
They do.
Yeah.
And while growth hacking thrives on agility, having a structure really helps.
Yeah.
HubSpot boils it down to 5 core axes.
Okay, 5 axes. What are they?
First, you need to evaluate your current marketing plans. And not just a quick look.
Deeper dive.
Yeah, thoroughly audit. Measure the effectiveness of all your lead sources, traffic sources, page views. You're looking for the real bottlenecks, what's actually working, and what's just noise.
Okay, find the baseline. Makes sense. Yeah. Number 2.
Second, set achievable goals. This is critical. Define precisely what you want to improve and how you'll measure it. And they have to be realistic.
Yeah.
Measurable.
Right, not just get more customer.
Exactly. Something you can actually track and verify. Third, plan experiments. This is the brainstorming part. Generate multiple creative ways to test your theories. Achieve those goals. Don't be afraid to think outside the box here. Sometimes the wild ideas are the best. Fourth, execute and iterate. Run your experiments until the results are, and this is important, statistically significant, meaning you're confident the change you saw wasn't just random chance, it's a real effect from your experiment. Reliable insights, not just lucky guesses.
Got it. And keep adjusting.
Yes, you don't just launch and forget. Keep tweaking, refining until you hit your goals. Learn from every iteration.
And the last one?
Finally, record and share. Document your best results, yes, but also your failures, the insights you gained. Share it all with the team.
So everyone learns.
Exactly. Growth hacking is about continuous improvement for the whole organization. If you find something amazing, a real game changer, share it immediately. Let everyone benefit.
That framework gives such a clear roadmap, really demystifies it.
Yeah.
And then there's also a more formal 5-step framework. for developing strategies.
Yes, a more comprehensive process.
And what's often stressed there is documenting the whole thing meticulously. Why is that so crucial?
That's a great point. A proper structure, well documented, builds efficiency, sure, but it also makes the process repeatable, scalable.
Ah, so you're not reinventing the wheel.
Exactly. Documentation means that institutional knowledge isn't lost. Onboarding new people is easier. Everyone understands the why behind past wins and losses. It's about being deliberate.
Okay, so step one in this formal framework, define goals. Really understanding your most important business goals for growth hacking, or, where does the business need the most help right now?
And again, these goals absolutely must be achievable. Growth hacking is powerful, but it's not magic and not guaranteed overnight.
Right. Manage expectations.
Totally. Requires patience, realistic targets, and knowing what a real success metric looks like, not just vanity metrics.
Okay. Next step. Promote new ideas. This means actively researching, looking for inspiration.
Yes. Build on what worked before, but also, crucially, learn from what didn't work in past campaigns. Data is key here. Use that data.
So look at past results.
Definitely. And look at successful campaigns within your industry, sure, but don't stop there. Look at related industries, maybe totally different fields. The more diverse the ideas and data for brainstorming,
the more innovative you might be.
Exactly. You get more effective strategies that way.
Step 3 is prioritize. You'll probably generate tons of ideas. How do you narrow that down? Pick the ones that are actually actionable, that will really move the needle.
This ties right back to setting those achievable goals and knowing your resources. You have to focus your efforts, find the highest leverage points.
Where a small effort gives big results.
Ideally, yes. It takes time, so you need to choose wisely where to invest that time and effort.
Okay, then step 4, implement new strategies. Take the best ideas, form hypotheses.
Clear hypotheses for each.
And put them into practice with the team.
And be agile as you implement. Be ready to solve problems that pop up in real time. Keep running experiments. Gather maximum data on your hypotheses. Remember, every test, even a failed one,
gives you data, valuable data.
Precisely.
And finally, step 5, measure and analyze results. After you've run the experiment, ask, did it work? Did it achieve the goal?
Were there unexpected impacts, good or bad? Was your hypothesis actually right?
Right.
This analysis then directly guides your next strategy. Take what you learned, success or failure doesn't matter, and keep trying. The whole cycle is about continuous learning, adapting, until you see that measurable change you want.
Okay, we've covered the what and the how of growth hacking, the frameworks, the steps, but now let's get to the real core ingredient, the thing that ties it all together.
The mindset.
The growth hacking mindset. Our sources describe it as this fundamental way of working, of dealing with business problems, seeking alternative solutions, prioritizing progress over perfection.
Leveraging new data, new techniques.
Exactly.
And this is truly the critical piece. Someone with this mindset doesn't just see problems, they see opportunities. They approach things with humility. They know they don't have all the answers.
So they're always learning.
Constantly learning, experimenting, adapting. Many experts argue growth hacking itself is less about specific tools or tactics.
And more about the mindset itself.
Yes, more about embodying this relentless pursuit of growth through that iterative scientific approach.
So why is this mindset so incredibly important? It hits you on 2 levels, right? Personally and for the business.
Absolutely. From a personal view, your mindset shapes how you feel, how you develop, how you handle change, setbacks.
Which happen all the time.
Constantly. With a growth hacking mindset, you're just better equipped to quickly find and try solutions. You learn new tools, new skills faster when you hit something new.
And for the business?
Well, companies are always facing new obstacles. It's constant flux. This mindset ensures you find quick solutions. And if the first one doesn't work, you're not derailed.
You just find another one.
Exactly. You're ready to pivot, find another way. It enables rapid organizational learning and adaptation.
Okay, let's make this practical. Talk about some specific characteristics of this mindset. 5 key ones. First, speed is greater than perfection.
Oh, this is huge.
Because, let's be honest, nobody really knows beforehand what's going to actually impact growth, right?
Exactly. That's where growth hackers really shine. They work with what's called a growth hacking cycle. Think A/B testing, launching MVPs.
Minimum viable products.
Right. Launch the simplest version of a product or feature to get real user feedback quickly, instead of spending months perfecting something that might totally miss the mark.
So, aim for good enough to start.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe set a design standard of, say, 6 out of 10 instead of aiming for a perfect 9. You launch way faster.
Yeah.
Less coordination, fewer resources lost if it fails.
And failure isn't always bad here.
Not at all. It's about failing intelligently. Every failed experiment is a data point. It refines your understanding. Perfection, in a fast-moving market, can actually be the enemy of learning.
Not just the enemy of good.
Right. Look at Amazon. Booking.com, huge startups known for speed. Their sites aren't always, aesthetically perfect.
Yeah.
But they move fast. So this raises an important question for you, the listener. Are you delaying progress, chasing some unattainable perfection? Or are you embracing smart failure to learn faster?
Wow, good question. Okay, second characteristic, being open to alternative problems.
This is so insightful.
Because working on the wrong problem is just a massive waste of time, budget, everything. Companies often think their biggest issue is, say, low customer attraction.
When it might be something deeper, like the product itself isn't quite right, or they're targeting the wrong audience completely.
So how do you avoid that trap? Solving the symptom, not the cause.
A true growth hacker mindset means being open to finding the actual root problem, even if it's uncomfortable truth. It's why many use a tool called the Pirate Funnel.
Pirate Funnel. Sounds fun.
Yeah. The acronym is AARR.
ARR. Okay.
Acquisition, activation, retention, revenue, referral. Imagine users signing up like crazy great acquisition, but then they drop off right after sign up before doing anything important.
So that's an activation problem.
Exactly. Not an acquisition one. Without that funnel view, you might just keep throwing money at getting more signups when the real leak is further down.
So it's a diagnostic tool. Yeah. Tells you where to focus.
Precisely. Ensures you're not just treating symptoms.
That makes so much sense. Okay, third characteristic. Be open to alternative solutions. The usual answers aren't always the best ones.
Definitely not.
What worked for, Uber or Airbnb or Spotify, it might not work for your business, even in a similar field. Why is that?
Because you have different products, different audiences, different budgets, and you're operating in a different time.
Time is a big factor.
Huge. Think about banner blindness. Remember those old banner ads, maybe 20 years ago? Some got insane click-through rates, like 78% today. You'd be thrilled with 2% on a Facebook ad.
True.
That phenomenon where people just adapt and tune out old strategies. Growth hackers have a blunt term for it. The law of the shitty click-throughs. It's a stark reminder. What was groundbreaking yesterday is just background noise today. It really underscores why you need your own unique growth hacks tailored to your context. Yesterday's playbook won't win today's game.
That really hits home. Okay, fourth characteristic. Being data-driven versus relying on intuition.
Big contrast here.
Traditional marketers often rely on gut feelings, experience, which has value, sure, but growth hackers, it's all about the numbers, the cold, hard data.
Right. They use data to accurately figure out the lowest cost ways to get customers, identify the real growth opportunities.
How do they stay focused with all that data?
Those with this mindset use data to find the biggest growth blockers. They often focus on measuring a one metric that matters, OMTM, using tools like Google Analytics.
One metric that matters, OMTM.
It forces clarity. So if you're a content site, maybe page views feels important, but your OMTM might actually be time spent on page per user.
Because that shows real engagement.
Exactly. Signals long-term value, not just casual clicks. After experiments, they look at that single metric. Decide whether to continue, pivot, or kill the strategy. It's about informed decisions, not just wishful thinking.
And finally, the fifth characteristic, having high digital intelligence. This sounds crucial for a growth hacker.
It really is.
It's about adapting quickly to new tech, handling new software, tools, and being willing to try untested stuff.
Yeah, it really boils down to learnability. That's the paramount skill. The online world moves incredibly fast. New tools, platforms, strategies pop up constantly.
So you have to keep learning.
Continuous self-development. Using resources like Google, YouTube. It's essential just to keep up. Leverage the latest opportunities. It's not about being an expert in everything.
But being curious enough to learn what's relevant quickly.
Exactly that.
Okay, so we get what the mindset is. Now the really practical bit. How do you actually build it? In yourself, in your team. We've got 6 actionable tips. First, change your picture of success.
This is fundamental.
Shift from defining success as being the best to always wanting to be better.
Spot on. Because part of growth is failing. And crucially, learning from it. When an experiment bombs...
Don't just see it as a failure.
Right. Ask, why didn't customers respond? Why was the CTR low? What specific data contradicts our hypothesis? How can this learning inform the next experiment? It's about building that feedback loop, continuous improvement. Every outcome, good or bad, is a step forward.
Okay, second tip. Don't stop at obstacles. Speed is key, so you can't just hit a roadblock and stop. Sounds good, but hitting walls is deflating. How do you push through?
That's where the curiosity and learning from failure really kick in. It's not about never feeling frustrated. It's about reframing that obstacle as a puzzle to solve.
Like a challenge.
Exactly. Think about being stuck on a hard problem you want to quit.
Yeah.
But if you push, try a different angle. Ask someone. That aha moment, that breakthrough, that's a reward.
To seek help.
Actively seek help. Talk to people. Use online communities. Google it. Force yourself to solve problems. That process is what builds the mindset. Build resilience.
Third tip, be curious. Commit to learning new things daily. Not just collecting facts, but broadening your perspective.
Yes, keeping you updated on the latest techniques. And you really need to. The marketing world evolves so fast. New opportunities pop up constantly.
Where do you find the time?
Luckily, resources are abundant and often free. Blogs, reports, social media, online courses. Make it a daily habit. Consume new info. What's cutting edge today might be old news tomorrow.
Fourth, surround yourself with the right people. Your environment shapes your thinking, right? So spend more time with other growth hackers or people with that mindset.
Definitely. Identify people who look for solutions, not just criticize. People who are always learning, not stuck in old ways. People open to alternatives.
Avoid the echo chamber.
Absolutely. I knew a founder who only listened to people who agreed with him. Business stagnated. It wasn't until he sought out friendly critics, people who challenge him, that he saw real breakthroughs. Remember Jim Rohn's quote?
You are the average of the 5 people you spend time with the most.
Exactly. Choose those 5 wisely.
Okay, fifth tip. Challenge your own assumptions. Marketers can get stuck, lose creativity, use old tricks, miss new ones if they don't question their own beliefs.
It happens easily.
But how do you avoid just analysis paralysis, questioning everything all the time?
It's a balance. Continuous challenging of fixed assumptions is vital for innovation. The key is to run rapid, small experiments on your hypothesized root problems. You don't get stuck questioning forever. You get stuck testing your questions.
Test the assumptions.
Yes. Find people who can constructively point out your blind spots. Ask hard questions. Push you to consider alternatives. Seek a work environment that fosters that critical thinking where, that's how we've always done it, gets challenged, not accepted.
And the final tip, number 6, is for employers or managers. Motivate your employees. Stimulate their growth hacking mindset.
So important if you're leading a team.
How do you do that practically?
Give them space. Opportunities to try new tactics, new tools, without fear of being slammed if it fails. Encourage self-belief. Don't micromanage. Let them own experiments.
Trust them.
Yes. Schedule dedicated learning time. Make it part of their job, not an extra chore. Set clear learning objectives to motivate their personal development. When your team feels supported in their growth,
they'll naturally lean into this mindset.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
Okay, so to recap this deep dive, successful growth hacking needs several things working together. That crucial mindset, an effective strategy based on experiments, a dedicated, curious team, and yeah, supportive tools like CRM systems help too.
Absolutely. Ultimately, growth hacking is a continuous process, experimentation, refinement. It's never really done.
Always learning.
Always. So if your business isn't growing as fast as you want, maybe ask yourself, are you and your team truly embracing that law of the shitty click-throughs?
The idea that what worked yesterday might not work today.
Exactly. Demanding constant curiosity, a relentless hunt for new solutions. Which brings us to a final question for you, the listener.
What's the next experiment you need to run?